If the plot ain't there, I'm not there. So lately I've been really surprised by what's in the Kindle Unlimited library, and this is going to be the Australian edition. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Talika, and today we're going to be going through the Kindle Unlimited library, and I have picked out 20 series that you can get today in Kindle Unlimited, and this is going to be the Australian version. So the Australian version and the US version are different. I also think the UK is different slightly. It might be a bit similar, but I personally think the US Kindle Unlimited library is so much better until this month. So I am going to rapid fire through these 20 series, otherwise we'll be here for days on end if I do talk about every individual one. They are a mix of ones that I have personally read myself and also ones that I haven't read, but they are on my TBR. So before we jump into the video, grab a snack, a drink, get comfy, and we're gonna jump straight into it. So I have categorized these into 3 different genres. We have fantasy, romance, and dark romance. I'm going to put the chapters down below so you can go to the section that you want to, as I know not everybody loves every genre. If you like this type of video as well, be sure to click the notification bell because I will be doing a standalone version of this in the future. So the first genre I'm going to start with is romance, and a few of these are hockey romances and some are really popular series as well, which surprised me, to be honest, that these ended up being on KU. I don't have the first book on me because it did get ruined by a drink, but the first series that I am going to be showing you that's on Kindle Unlimited is the Knock 'Em Out series. This is by Lucy Score, and this is a highly popular series. It's Grumpy Sunshine and small town romance. These are chunky. I have read the first book and I loved it. It was a lot better than I actually anticipated, to be honest. And this kind of, in a way, to be honest, reminds me of Virgin River, the TV show, because it's got that little small town romance, but he doesn't really want a relationship, or they end up falling in love with each other. They don't realize it, they do all this stuff, and then they're like, no, this isn't gonna work. Then you've got the side characters as well, where there's drama happening in the town itself, and the main guy's brother is also the cop of the town, so it does give me the same vibes as Virgin River. But yes, highly recommend this one so far. Even though I haven't finished it, you have to read it. So the second one that we have is the Chestnut Spring series, which I was honestly so surprised to see this on here. This is by Elsie Silver. Now, you would have heard of Elsie Silver. She is absolutely everywhere. I swear she's in every single book review. Her books I haven't actually read any yet, but I do have Chestnut Spring series and Wild Love, I think it's called. The Rose Hill series is on my radar. I do want to get to them. So once again, this is a cowboy romance in a small country town, and I believe there is 5 books in this one, which is amazing. And I honestly don't think they're too long as well. But I have heard that they are really quick, easy, simple reads. You get to know the characters, fall in love with the characters, and I think there's like plenty of like wittiness and banter in them as well. So the next one is apparently the best book boyfriend of all time, and that is the Boys of Avix series. Hopefully I said that right. I only own the first one at the moment, which is called Say You Swear by Meg and Brandy. And this is a college football romance. I know it's a brother's best friend versus friends to lovers. So this one, it says, for years I've dreamt of what college life could bring, and while some things changed, there was always one constant. It didn't matter how wild I allowed my imagination to run, my future was clear and he was it, until he wasn't. Now there's a new man in my life, one who isn't afraid to go after what he wants, and what he wants is me. So I don't know if the first guy that gets talked about is the friends to lovers, and then the brother's best friend comes in second, or if it's the other way around. But I'm guessing it's the brother's best friend that wants her. And if you know me, that's like my favorite trope. So there is 3 books in the series. It is a completed series. The 3rd book came out in June this year, so very, very recent. I haven't seen anything about a 4th book being announced. So I do believe that could potentially be just the trilogy. So the next series is also a sports romance, and that is ice hockey. So this one is called the Vancouver Storm, and there is 5 books to be released in this one. The 5th book comes out February 26, and we have had also just the 4th book released in June too. So in this series we have Behind the Net, The Fake Out, The Wingman, Gloves Off, and then in February we will have The Wild Card. I've only read the 1st book in this series and it was cute. It was like better than I expected. It was also a bit spicy. I didn't realize how spicy these books actually were. I didn't think there was a lot of smut in it, but it really took me by surprise, to be honest. There was a couple of cringy moments, I'm not gonna lie. This guy literally falls hard for her, like so hard. They were high school crushes. And then later in life, she ends up becoming his assistant, well, his dog assistant, because he finds a dog on the side of the street and doesn't want to take it to a shelter. So he hires her as a dog assistant. She ends up moving in. So it's pretty much forced proximity, boss, old high school crush, and a lot of tension. A lot of tension until they let it all out. So I've heard a lot about the 2nd book in this series, The Fake Out. A lot of people say if you don't like the 1st book, just push through till the 2nd. This 2nd one apparently is really, really, really good. So I'm excited to find that out myself. A lot of people do rate it highly, like 4 or 5 stars. So we will find out in the future. I will probably have to read it in like a series takedown vlog. And then while we're on the hockey train, I might as well say the 5th one is DC Stars. Now this series has been blowing up everywhere lately. I have been seeing it literally left, right and center, and I really want to read it straight away, but I literally just don't have time at the moment. There is 5 books in this series. The 5th book comes out in November, so it literally comes out in like 3 months, like two-ish, 3 months. I ideally would love to read the first 4 books before the 5th book comes out, but we will have to see. We will have to see. We have a lot on our plate to get through before then. The most recent one called Hat Trick, I've seen people say, so it is book number 4, but I've heard people say that that is the best book in the series so far, because obviously there's going to be a 5th one, and they rave about it so much. The next series I put in here because I do feel like it is a really cool aspect. It did go around for a little bit, but I actually hadn't seen too much light shed on book 2, 3 and 4. It is a completed series, I believe, and that is the Love Light series. I wanted to put this in here because the cool concept is each book follows a season, which I think is so cool, and the covers also kind of correlate to the season as well. So the first one is Love Light Farms, which I guess in America it's winter. And then you have In the Weeds, which kind of looks like autumn or fall, Mixed Signals and Business Casual. So I do feel like the way that BK Burrison done this whole concept is really good. But like I said, I haven't heard much about book 2, 3 and 4. I did hear a bit about Love Light Farms because a lot of people do read it at Christmas. And I did have it on my radar to actually read this Christmas too. So, you know, it literally says, yeah, I purchased it the 7th of December 2024. Wow. But yeah, I am excited to get into this one. I believe all of these are also happily ever afters. No heartbreak in these. I think it's small towns. I'm not honestly too sure. I don't really know much about it. All I know is that Love Light Farms is apparently a really good book to read for the Christmas holidays. The next one is actually a really long series. So it's kind of actually two in one. There is the Addicted series and then the Calloway Sister series. You should read these apparently in actual order. They are connected together. I have heard though it can get a bit repetitive. I've heard that a couple of the books are literally the exact same timeline, just from a different point of view. So if you don't mind that type of thing, you'll probably love this. But for the ones that say they felt like they did read the exact same book, I've heard people say they didn't mind it because they love the world, they love the characters, they just in general enjoy being there. And then others say that, you know, you could probably skip a couple of them. But this one is kind of like Gossip Girl meets Euphoria, so it is a bit of that vibe. So in this one there is a lot of codependency, there is found family, it's also friends to lovers, I think, and dysfunctional. A lot of dysfunctional relationships. They each have their own personal struggles, like we said, addicted to sex and addicted to booze. And just by that, I can tell we will be following the journey to recovery, I guess, and helping each other and essentially just like growing a life together. But like I said, 10 books, massive series. Yeah, it's a commitment. Now, the very last romance series that we have in here, I was honestly a bit surprised that it was here. And that is the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. This is a sports romance. This is a completed series. This is all we're getting. I did see that it says that she has a book coming, I think next year. There's no picture though, but I've heard that this is it for the Windy City series. So I'm not too sure what that other book is that's coming out. But sports romance, we do have a couple of baseballs in here. I think there's a basketball. The one thing that I love, oh, and there's also hockey. The one thing I love about this is it's a different sport each book. So you're not just getting like ice hockey the whole way, which normally is what happens. We go through the whole team. So I do love that it does get mixed up. And there is also different tropes in here. So there's like a single dad and nanny trope. There is a flight attendant and there is like ex-neighbors. I've heard this is a 6-star series and I believe that it should be on everybody's TBR. So if you haven't read this yet, be sure to jump over and add it to your library. So that is all for the contemporary romance books, and now we're going to move into the dark romance, which I've read book 1 in this one and I honestly didn't even realize it was dark romance. I thought it was just normal. But that is the Twisted series by Anna Huang. Now, the first book, it's cute, it's witty, you just need to get through it. Okay, you just need to trust the process and get through it, because I've heard Twisted Lies and I think it was Twisted Games is like the best. So we just gotta power through, you know? And I feel like that's like with a lot of series, you just gotta power through the first book and then it gets better. But all of these are pretty much billionaires. Each book follows a different couple in the friendship group. So the first one we have Ava, and she has 3 other friends, and the other 3 books is one for each friend. So in there we have one who's like a princess and she dates her bodyguard. We have Ava's brother dates one of her friends. In this one we have Ava dating her brother's best friend. So there is definitely something in it for everybody, and once again it is also a completed series, which is so good. And I kind of feel like they can be used a little as a palette cleanser too. So this next series is once again quite a big series. At the moment there's going to be 8 books, but it is split across 4 couples. So the first 4 books is one couple, and then I think there's another couple that has like 2-3 books, and then another couple has 2, and then the last couple is just getting has just had their first book and they're getting another one in May next year. But this series, guys, when I tell you, if you are in a reading slump, just give it a go, because I absolutely ate this series up. I was addicted, literally addicted. The good thing about this is they are super short too. I think on average they're about 250 pages each book. It is dark academia too, which I personally love. I love that whole dark college setting. There is a lot of like found family, there is enemies to lovers, there's stalkers, there's major cliffhangers, there is smut, it's spicy. There's also like a dark secret society within the college. Like it's the stuff that goes on here, it's unmatched. It's unmatched. Like I absolutely had the best time of my life, and it did get me out of a reading slump. We have some people who are morally grey. We do have like wannabe heroes. Like there's so much. It is dark. There is triggers, so do be sure to read the triggers. There is some gruesome bits in there, so yeah, definitely make sure to check that out. But like I said, it is a dark college romance. If you love college, if you love dark romance, if you love mystery, twists and turns, give it a go. I love how I say I'm going to rapid fire them, and like we're out here talking. Next up we have the Mindfuck series. A lot of people love this straight away on the first book. It's completed. It is 5 books, 5 short books. They're like 150 pages each, 200 pages each. So we follow Lana, and Lana unfortunately was abused when she was 12, I believe. No, maybe a little bit older. She was a young teen by 12 different men and boys, and she has made it her mission to get revenge on them, and she has become a serial killer. Now, the FBI don't know who she is. They can't find her. They can't track her. She is like literally a god, right? But she runs into one of the FBI's who's actually working her case. He manages her case. He's the leader of trying to catch her. And they think it's a guy, to be honest, but they end up falling in love. So she is out here on the side doing her killings, her murders, while she's literally sleeping with the FBI who's trying to catch her. It was honestly so good. Book 3, 4, 5, 5 stars, literally 5 stars. That is where all the action comes in. That is where you get like a good portion of the story, a good plot of the story, and everything starts adding up and you're just like, holy fucking shit. It's where she gets so close to just things happening, and the FBI agent as well, things happening in his life. It is very high stakes. But if you're a Criminal Minds girly and you love thriller mystery, it can be a bit gruesome as well. Definitely read the triggers, but it's a must. And also this one as well is turning into a TV series soon. So that is actually exciting, because it is one of those books that I'm like, wow, like this would be really good as a show. Next up, I only have 3 physical of this one, but that is the Never After series. So there are 6 books, I believe. It is also a completed series. Hexed is the last one that had come out last year. Now, the Never After series are fractured fairy tales. They are not retellings, okay? They are stories about the villains. So we follow, I honestly can't remember who Scarred is. I heard something about it. People were saying Lion King, but I heard her say that it's not the Lion King. We have the Little Mermaid, so we follow pretty much Ursula or Vanessa's as the main character. And then we have Hooked, who is Hook from Peter Pan, and pretty much she always does similar names. So we have James Hook, which I swear his name's James in the movie, and we have Wendy as the FMC, and then we have Vanessa as the main FMC, who sees Enzo, which I really loved because of Eric. And then we had, was it Ava? It's Aria for Ariel, and she also has red hair. She also sings. She won Enzo over by singing. There's so many like little Easter eggs in here that are a part of the fairy tale, but they're not retellings. They are fractured. They're about the villain. Literally, like in her books, she says it's a dark contemporary romance. It is an adult fractured fairy tale. It is not a fantasy or a literal retelling. The main character is a villain, and if you're looking for a safe read, you will not find it on these pages because they are graphic. Contains mature and graphic content that is not suitable for all readers. Reader discretion is advised. And then you can go to her website for a list of triggers and warnings, but this is really, really good. I know these aren't retellings, but if you are a Disney adult and you really love dark romance, hit these up. Literally hit this whole series up. I've only read Hooked and Hex so far. Hex was 5 stars. I actually believe they were both 5 stars. So yes, definitely do that. And the other thing, she actually has all these special editions coming out. So there's only Hooked out at the moment. Scarred is going to be released any moment. Pretty much when this video goes up. I think it comes out anytime. I think it's like the end of September. And then every single book, so all 6 books in this series, they're gonna have special editions like this. So it's like foiled, which is so cool. Even the material is like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just so stunning. And then even the back, I love. And then the best part is the sides. And we have Darling, because James Hook calls Wendy Darling, like that's his nickname or her nickname. But look how cool that is. And then on the inside, this is a book I would reread over and over again. Like, stop. Look how stunning. I'm obsessed. I love it. I cannot wait for all 6 of these to come out. It's so pretty. So the next series is called, I always go to say the Bravada, but I don't think it's that. I think it's Bratva. I'm literally so butchering that, but it's by TJ Maguire. There is 5 books in this one, and the 5th book is coming out in December. I'm not too sure if this will be a completed series at the end of that, but each book does contain a different couple. It is an interconnected series, and it's actually recommended to read these in order, as some books leave on cliffhangers, or if there's answers that are left unanswered, you end up finding it out in the next book. It's a very dark romance though, a very dark romance. There is a lot of gore, a lot of explicit scenes, abuse, so definitely once again go check the triggers. But I have heard so many good things about this series. I've heard it's really addicting and fast paced, and it literally just keeps you hooked page to page to page. And if you are a happily ever after girly, well, this is it. It is a mafia series as well. I feel like mafia books, like, I don't know, they just hit something different, and they are happy ever afters, which is good. It's good. Even though there's a lot of like gruesome stuff going on, we still get happy ever after. Okay, so the last one for dark romance is a 6-star series. It is a 6-star series for me, and that is called The Edge of Darkness by Lee Rivers. Now, some people say that this is interconnected with her, is it Web of Lies? It's like Little Liar, oh, Little Stranger and Little Liar. I've heard people say it's interconnected to that. I tried to read Little Stranger, and if you've seen my wrap up, you would have seen I DNF'd it. I just could not do it. Just could not do it. Not because of the story or where it was going, just because of brother and sister, like every 2 seconds. So I did DNF it, and I've heard that I guess if you're going to read it and you can get through Little Stranger, apparently it's Little Liar that is connected to the last book of The Edge of Darkness. So I think there's like a crossover or spoilers or something. I'm honestly not too sure because I don't know how they're connected. I really don't. Probably because I haven't read it. But guys, this series is a must. It is a must. You have to read this literally now. If you don't read it right now, it's got to be before the end of the year. Like, it has to go to the top of your list. This is such a roller coaster. It is such a roller coaster. If I told you what, like, the plot line of the story, it would give so much of the thrill away, the mystery. Just trust me and just add it. We primarily really follow Kate and Stacey, and they dated. So Cade is Stacey's best friend's brother, and it was a secret relationship. Like, the sister didn't know. I mean, the parents worked it out. But the sister and the friends, it's a secret relationship. No one knew. They snuck around for like years, and then they ended up splitting up. Things have happened, but he still really loves her. The reason they broke up was gut-wrenching. I was crying for so long. I just, like, there's so much abuse in this book. Like, so much abuse. Stacey, like, there's abuse on both parts. Not what they do to each other, but what happens to them individually. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, just stop the video right now and just go start it. But yes, definitely a 6-star read. It is quite brutal too. Like I said, it can be quite triggering. There is a lot of gruesome moments. It is a very, very, very spicy. It's almost like a forbidden love type romance. Yeah, just get ready for heartbreak and just a roller coaster of emotions. So moving on to the last genre, which is fantasy, and we have got 6 books in this category. So I just have to put it on here, and that is the Harry Potter series. If you love the movies, they are on Kindle Unlimited. Go ahead and read them. If you just want to reminisce and highlight your favorite moments, go ahead. It's got no explanation. Everybody knows Harry Potter. Everybody has to love Harry Potter. And if you are new and you somehow haven't heard of it, it's a magic system where they go to Hogwarts, which is a magic school, and learn how to be a witch or a wizard. You have muggles who are human. There is villains trying to, you know, kill people. It's just really good. It's so good. It's so nostalgic as well. Like, it's got it doesn't deserve an explanation. So this next one, I actually haven't read it, but it does have quite high reviews, and it is called The Legends of Thesma. It does have 4 books, and it is a completed series as well. So the book is called Blood and Steel, Vows and Ruins, Fate and Furies, Shadow and Storms. I haven't honestly heard too much about this one, but it does look really good. The reviews are really good. The ratings are quite high, to be honest. And it says if you love From Blood and Ash, The Witcher, The Bridge Kingdom, then this is perfect for you. There's enemies to lovers, it's a romantasy, slow burn, spice, monsters, found family, and yeah, like I said, a world of magic and monsters. And pretty much the main FMC only has 3 years to become like this badass warrior. She needs to protect 5 kingdoms, I believe. Oh my god, it is editing to Leica, and I've actually lost a few minutes of footage. I don't know how much, so I'm just going to quickly fill in the blanks. Do not mind the mess there. So pretty much in this series, she needs to become a warrior, and it's forbidden for women to go on swords and things like that. So she's actually trained in secret her whole life, and she's got to go through like, I think, trials and an initiation phase where then she can see if she becomes the champion or if something else happens and stops her in her merry way. So I personally feel like it sounds interesting, and I actually haven't really seen it much before, but now it is definitely bumped up to the top of my list because she sounds like a baddie. She literally sounds like a baddie. So the next series that we have is The Crowns of Nysia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the first book is The Wings and the Serpent of the Night. So this one here is humans and vampires, and a vampire king has adopted a human for a daughter. Her name is Araya, and she's carved a place in the world that is designed to kill her. So I believe I can now put you on to the rest of the video. So there are tournaments in here, and she pretty much enters one to try become something more, but obviously it's deadly to her because she is a human. And I feel like with every single fantasy book, it is also enemies to lovers. She has one of the most vicious rivals, Rain, and he is an enemy to her father, who is the king, but she's drawn to him and falls in love. So I think there is also a bit of magic in here as well. Kind of intrigued. So there is currently 4 books out, and the 5th one will be out August next year, and the 4th book literally just come out. So while we are on the trial train, the next one is called Wicked Games, which it's in its title, and this is a duology, I believe. I don't know if there's gonna actually, I believe it's only a duology. I'll just check. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's only a duology, and that is Phantasma and Enchantra. These, I am obsessed, but oh no, it is foiled. You just can't really see it. I'm obsessed with these covers. Like, they are so stunning. So pretty much for Phantasma, it's welcome to Phantasma. There are only 2 rules of the game: stay alive or don't fall in love. So this is classified as a dark romantasy. Okay, dark romantasy. There is a necromancer in here that she falls in love with. She does enter Phantasma. It's kind of like, from what I gather, it's like a mansion thing, and it's full of like different games and trials, and you got to get through each round. She enters because she thinks her sister is actually in there and she's trying to save her. There's a necromancer in there, and she ends up falling in love with it, or with him, I should say. But the cool thing is there's a list of paranormal creatures. And so we have a bunch of like ghosts. We have like other immortal paranormal beings like vampires, shapeshifters. There's demons, devils, wraiths, witches, specters, like literally anything you can think of is most likely in here. So there are 2 series left, and I'm going to try to keep these ones short. But the next one we have is The Kindred's Curse, which is 4 books. It isn't completed yet. The 4th book is due to come out sometime next year. I think they're speculating around July next year. So at the moment we only have 3. We have Spark of the Everflame, Glow of the Everflame, and Heat of the Everflame. So we actually follow a healer. I personally haven't read this series yet, but it did pop off there for a while. It was quite everywhere. I did see it is a lot of people's 6-star like series. A lot of people rated it 6 stars. So we follow a healer, which I honestly don't even think I've read a book where we follow a healer before, so it's going to be something different for me. Her mum disappears, and there's an enemy that follows her every move. So it is a romantasy, enemies to lovers. I've heard that it's got a unique magic system, and there's dragon-like creatures, like mythical creatures. I think there's like gods in it as well. But they do say if you love Akatar and Throne of Glass, then you'll probably most likely love this series. And it is a very plot heavy, character driven series as well, which I absolutely love. I need a good plot to get me through. If the plot ain't there, I'm not there. So I really love that. But this is one that I'm also glad is on KU. I hope it stays on KU for quite a bit because the books are chunky. They are so chunky. Now, last but not least is we have technically every single book by these two authors in this series. It is a massive, massive universe. It's all interconnected. There's a bunch of reading lists that you can follow if you want to do every single series in it. But that is the Zodiac Academy series. You also have Dark Fae, and there is another one I can't remember, I'll put on the screen, but they are all interconnected with each other. Now, me personally, I've only read Zodiac Academy. Will I read the other like spin-offs? They're not really spin-offs, but like, you know, spin-offs. Will I read them? I'm not too sure yet. At this stage, I'm not going to be. I don't have a huge interest to read those characters in those books, but I don't know, I could change my mind in the future. All I've got to say, so Zodiac Academy is a magic system once again, and there's a bunch of creatures, and they follow the 4 elements of water, fire, air, and like ground, dirt, grass, terran. When I read it, it did remind me of Harry Potter cross, what's that fairy show? Winx Saga. That's literally like, that's what the whole series is. It is a very, 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 very spicy. It's very smutty, but it's mainly, no, it's pretty much the whole way, but I'm gonna say mainly from like book 3, 4. I'm gonna say 4 to book 9. Oh, holy, the things they do to each other, just... Anyway, this series 1 to 6 in my personal opinion is 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. 7, 8, 9, however, like you can join them together. Like, honestly. The one thing that really also annoyed me about this series too is there's novellas. I didn't read all the novellas in between. So it's 9 books, 9 actual books, and then there's some novellas in between as well. The only novella I read was 8.5 because that is the Deadland perspective, and I tandem read that with 8, which everybody recommended, and I'm not a tandem girly, but I do recommend doing that. It was so long though. It was so long. This is what I hated. The novella was like 500 pages. Why is a novella that long? They're normally like 200 less. Like guys, this is a novella. This is a novella. That one was like this. Anyway, the other thing with this series is if you don't go into it for the writing, it didn't really faze me as such. I was just having a good time. It was funny. It was great. It was heartbreaking. I had a lot of times where I did cry, but I was just there for the vibes. I was there for the vibes. I absolutely loved it. I wish I could, you know, start again and read it again for the first time. Just the first 6 books. But I do still highly recommend the series overall. So that is all, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments below and put a butterfly emoji. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn that notification bell on, because in the future I will also be doing a standalone list similar to what I've done today, but with standalones instead. If you have read any of these books, let me know. I would love to chat to you about them. And as always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!